Drowning. It's one of the scariest ways we can think of when it comes to how we may die. The thought of being stuck in an environment where you can't breathe. You're gasping for air, but all you're doing is inhaling H2O instead of O2. It fills your lungs until you suffocate, and then it's no more. You're unconscious with no way out and no way of escape. This is the place that my pornography addiction brought me to. How did I get there? Well, let's start from the beginning. I was just around 7 years old when I encountered my first taste of pornography. It was innocent. I was just being a kid, playing around, going about my day, and made my way into the computer room, where what I saw in there changed my life. Kind of like that innocence of when you're just swimming, enjoying your time, not thinking about how the place that you're in could also be the place that could unintentionally be designed to take you out. The curiosity from that day for what I saw when I entered that computer room grew, and I desired and seek to see more. And by the time I was a teenager, I was addicted and I didn't even know it. What was an innocent discovery now turned into something I couldn't live without. For years, I would indulge in masturbation and pornography for at least 2 to 3 times a day, to as much as 5 to 6 times a day. I consume it in school, during holidays with my family, before basketball games to calm me down, or just when I was alone, bored, with nothing to do. It wasn't until my early 20s, with over a decade of this pattern, until I realized the destructiveness of what I had fallen into. But it was too late. Lust had already began to drown and suck the life and the identity out of me and my character. It made me build habits of lying and deceiving people to get away with things, like lying about why I couldn't take a school test to get extra time to study for an exam, to as shameful as me lying about not even being a virgin and portraying to be something that I really wasn't. My view of women began to change. It dumbed them down to me seeing them as just like objects in a store that you could play around and have fun with, instead of the beautiful creations that God made them for us to be in union and relationship with. It weakened my body and my soul, and as I tried to get out with everything I had in me, it's just like the weight of the corruption that it put me in was just too much, until that final blow came. As it weakened me, it took control of the one area that, when it gets a hold of this, is certain to lead to you and your death. That's when it took a hold of my mind. As it did, it started to consume me and affect my everyday life and productivity. At nights, I couldn't sleep because the urges and the thoughts began to consume me, kept me unable to close my eyes. It felt like I was being led and controlled, not by my thoughts, but now it began to feel like the thoughts of the spirit of lust that gained control over me over all the years that I let it in my life. Trying to fight it burnt me out so bad, and as I began to downward spiral into what would be the most devastating relapse I would encounter, that's what brought me here. Drowning, unable to find the air to save myself from the grip pornography and lust had on me. Until one moment, I woke up. Through a divine power given to me by God, I found the strength to burst out of the water in the place of death that pornography had on me. I got my air, and I was able to speak and declare under the power of the name of Jesus that every vain thought leave my mind, and that the spirit of lust that was guiding and manipulating me leave me at once. In an instance, in that moment, that crossroad, I felt a shift. Like a life preserver was thrown to me, that I was able to find rest and peace in my mind. Where am I today? I'm still here. Here in this place, just swimming and keeping a hold of the life preserver that saved me, which was the power and the grace of God, extending his hand toward me to save and protect me from the devastating effects porn could have had on me. It's a place that through this journey I'll always be, and there's no place I would rather be in. Know that if you're like me and you feel like you've been slowly suffocating and drowning, sitting here in that place where there's no air, there's no oxygen, no way to cry for help, no way for anybody to find you, know that there is no shortages of the life-preserving power that I found through the love of God. You can lay all of this down at his feet and let God know, I'm tired. I can't breathe anymore. Lord, I need you and I need your strength if I'm going to overcome this, because I cannot do it on my own and in my own willpower. It's in this moment where you can find grace, peace, and freedom to get out of that place of drowning and learn to swim in freedom and purpose to what God has called you to do. So don't stay in that place of suffocation. It's time to rise up, break out, break through it, be free, and most importantly, don't let pornography stop you from purpose.